So you decided to take the PMP exam and you want to save time and money while increasing your chances of passing on the first try. Here are 5 daily mistakes you want to avoid while choosing the right course for you, and how to ensure it translates to passing the exam stress-free. Let me say that again, stress-free. Now, you've probably heard the PMP exam is one of the hardest exams out there, and that even the application can take hours to complete. Or the questions are written in a way that confuses you, so you either give up or give in, then fail. How about the fact that questions are long and wordy, and you need to know tons of equations and formulas? This will only be true if you follow the same path most people do. As CEO of PMI San Francisco Bay Area, I've seen thousands of project managers make these 5 mistakes, and I want you to avoid them at all costs. Now, like most, your goal is to pass the PMP exam on the first try. So like most, you begin to look up options. You find online self-study options that have the lowest cost. Now, this is perfect if you have tons of time, don't mind reading technical documents, and can quickly understand the concept solo. You'll also see semester-long courses taught at colleges. Now, this is great for those who don't mind devoting 4 months of their lives to PMI and shelling out university-level prices. You then see the popular PMP boot camps. Now, this is for those who want to get PMP certified as fast as possible and want to be guided on a journey. Well, like most, you probably realize after a while there are hundreds of products out there and you've only scratched the surface. You barely have time to search, let alone try and evaluate all these options given your workload. And all this gets compounded by the fact these programs look the same, sound the same, read the same, but vary significantly in cost, sometimes upwards of $2,000 in difference. Now, if this sounds like you, I have a solution. And if you're nearly down this rabbit hole, please stop. Avoid these 5 mistakes so you don't follow a deadly path to failure when creating your path to pass the exam. Now pause the video, grab something to write with if you don't already have, and then come back. I'll wait. Okay, first, limitations to your access. Life gets in the way and so does work, and things don't go as planned. You may not get to take the exam when you wanted to, for whatever reason, so make sure you have unlimited access to study materials. At the very least, you should have a year's worth of access. Now, countless students have come to me that weren't able to take their exam right away after their first course, and they no longer had access to the study materials, basically wasting thousands of dollars. So avoid this by making sure you pick a course that provides you with the right amount of access time for you. Now, if you don't know what's right for you, no worries. I'll tell you how to figure this out at the end of the video. Let's get to the second step. Number 2, a small number of questions. Now, imagine yourself doing really well in the practice exam, getting high scores, finishing quickly, only to get to the real thing and fail. Believe me, it happens all the time. Students begin to see the same questions, they memorize the answers, and they feel confident enough to take the real thing. But during the actual exam, they're hit with questions they've never seen before, and it causes them to fail. Mastering a repeating cycle of questions will boost your confidence, but it won't help you pass the exam. So avoid this by ensuring you pick a course that has a bank of at least 1,000 questions, or 5 full-length, unique practice exams. Okay, third, no application assistance. You can't sit for the exam if you don't get your application accepted. And many people submit applications only to have them kicked back for errors or even worse, rejected. Now, this is a crucial step, but often overlooked by most in the beginning. Up to 40% of people experience a setback of wasting a month calling people, sending emails, mailing documents, and following up on collecting signatures from past employers. You don't need this stress in your life. So look for courses that offer application assistance. It sucks to hear about people who've been audited or have their application rejected because a trained pair of eyes could have just given it a look and saved them the hassle. Now, fourth and really important, a boring instructor. Can you imagine fighting sleep while the instructor speaks in a monotone voice, merely reading the slides, dodging questions, not really teaching? If the instructor can't keep you interested, you're already done. And if the instructor can't relate the material to your experience, you're gonna feel like you're hearing a different language with all the new terminology. You'll end up confused most of the time, worrying everyone's annoyed by all of your questions. Or you're gonna fight sleep the entire time and then have to go back and put more effort in to learn what you missed. So stay away from courses that don't offer background information on the instructors, or provide excerpts from live classes, or show reviews from students discussing the instructor's ability to keep the courses engaged and entertaining. Which leads me to number 5, no test-taking strategies. The exam is 1/3 content knowledge, 1/3 memory and recall, and 1/3 test-taking strategies. You'll absorb 1/3 content during the course and by studying. You'll absorb 1/3 memorization by reading the content and studying. But most people clam up during tests, and they simply aren't great test takers, despite all the work they put in. So if the course you're evaluating doesn't highlight the ability to teach you question theory and multiple choice exam strategy as part of the curriculum, they're cutting your chances of success by 33%. Don't take this lightly. Make sure you choose an instructor who can teach you how to break down the questions, teach you how to manage your time during the exam, and teach you how to build your mental stamina to focus for the full 4 hours, in addition to teaching you PMI's content. So that's why in my course, I make sure to teach you counterintuitive methods that save you time and increases your chances of success, such as not aiming to answer every single question correctly, or eliminating the wrong choice instead of just picking what you think is the right one. I even teach you how to pose the ultimate bribe to your family so you gain more time to study. Now, avoiding the 5 mistakes I mentioned are very important, for sure, but you need to complement the strategy with a customized plan and make it as easy as possible. Now, think about it. The hours you have available each week determines your overall duration of study. The industry you work in, the company you work for, the terminology you use, all that affects the concepts you're going to need to focus on. Now, what type of learner are you? Visual, auditory, kinesthetic? Will you have someone in your household who's going to assist you? These are some of the questions that you're going to have to consider when developing your roadmap to success. Now, look. During my tenure as CEO of PMI, I kept hearing stories about the high levels of stress students were under, struggling to choose the right resources to pass the exams, just like I did. Now, my story reads, starting out trying to self-study because after researching countless options and wondering what was right and what wasn't, I just needed to pick something, so I banked on myself. But after months and months, I had yet to be fully prepared given the minimum required 35 hours of study. So I ended up purchasing a boot camp, only to be slide decked to sleep most of the time. My instructor was retired from the field, dry, and boring in their approach, and they didn't know how to answer anyone's questions. So I ended up studying more outside the course for what seemed like another 10 boot camps. Now, I eventually passed the exam, but I hated the experience. And years later, when I began teaching pinball concepts, I decided to be different. And after teaching thousands of students and helping 1,600 more achieve their PMP, I was chosen to lead PMI's second largest chapter, and I kept hearing cases similar to mine. So I decided to analyze the path of our chapter's PMs, a little over 14,000, and I learned the typical course is cookie cutter, and it pretty much all of them force you to learn in the same manner. I realized people aren't being set up for individual success from the get-go. Individual success. And I realized that also happened to me. So I don't want you to experience this. I developed a proprietary system that creates an outline specific to your personal journey in project management. And I want to give that to you. It's proven to increase your chances of passing the first time around 3 sigma or 99.73%. That's a PMI question. We'll come back to that. Now, my goal back then is the same now, to increase the number of project managers in our field and by paying forward knowledge that minimizes the stress and confusion most people experience when they're trying to get certified. That's why, as a gift to you for wanting to get certified, I give a free, quick 15-minute strategy session where you tell me where you are and where you want to go in project management. And using my system, I'll strategically tailor a roadmap you can use to become PMP certified. It'll be based on where you're at in project management journey. So you'll be able to remove the stress and confusion that comes with outlining a plan for passing the exam. Choose your time below, and I'll lay out your potential paths and outline the right one for you so you can save time, money, and stress while increasing your odds of passing the exam on the first try. Now, you'll get a personalized plan, and I'll get the satisfaction of knowing there'll be another PMP out there. My desire is to give you in 15 minutes what will take you about 18 hours to research. And I want to keep you from following mine and others' deadly paths as students and give you the secrets I now know, having taught over 1,600 successful PMPs. Now, during the call, I'll discover if you should self-study, enroll in an online course, go to a university, or take a boot camp. There's no easy answers. It just really depends on a combination of factors that we'll uncover during a strategy session. So book your spot using the calendar link below so I can give you the secrets to becoming PMP certified stress-free with higher odds. So now you have 2 options. You can do it on your own, risk researching endless and sometimes misleading information, and potentially spend thousands of dollars on a solution that isn't right for you, or you didn't even need. But if you're at this point, you know it's better to not try and reinvent the wheel. So let's dive into the second option. I'll help you create a customized roadmap when you book a free 15-minute strategy session while I'm still available. Now choose the best time at the bottom for you and receive your calendar invite. Now please understand, I'm only human and can't help everyone. If, by the time you're ready, I'm no longer available, please accept my apologies and reach out and see what other options we have available to help you. So look, if you've watched these 5 tips, you want to pass your PMP exam on the first try with as little stress and confusion as possible while saving time and money in the process. This is your opportunity to quickly have that. Book your session and get PMP certified in the best way for you. I'll see you soon.